Hello, welcome to American Bakery in Germany. I'm Michelle, and today we're making a fall leaves cake for autumn. Let's get started.
I start out a couple days before making a handful of leaves that will dry beforehand. I'm not cutting them all out at this point, but I do want a few that are dried beforehand so they have a little bit of life. I didn't have any yellow fondant prepared, so I colored some white fondant with yellow gel food coloring. Then I took some of the yellow fondant and gently mixed it with a bit of orange fondant, creating a marbled effect. Then I rolled it out and cut out some leaves out of it with some leaf cutters. I let them dry on a piece of crumpled foil to give them a more natural look. I stuck the cake down with a bit of strawberry buttercream. This is strawberry cake with strawberry buttercream. I fill the cake with strawberry buttercream and frost it with it as well. If I had to do it over again, I would color the buttercream yellow, orange, red, or brown, so it wasn't quite so obvious to the leaves, but the pink wasn't too bad either. I clean up my cake base with a damp rag and chill the cake half an hour in the fridge. While I'm waiting for the cake to chill, I cut out some more leaves to cover it with. I start out with some brown chocolate fondant. There was a bit of marbling still in the fondant, but I thought it was better for the fall leaves. Next, I cut out some red leaves. I also marbled some red and orange together and cut out a few more leaves. Then I just kept blending different fondant fall colors together to make more fall leaves of different amounts of red, orange, and yellow. If you like what we do here, consider subscribing for a new cake video every Monday morning at 7 a.m. Central European Time, plus regular bonus videos with recipes and baking basics. Then I started placing my leaves on the cake. I started with the brown leaves because I wanted them to be the farthest in the background. Then I placed the rest of the leaves I had cut out from darkest to lightest. But I clearly did not have enough leaves. I needed more like twice as many as I had originally cut. So I go back to the drawing board, making more leaves with various amounts of red, orange, and yellow fondant. And placed them on the cake, filling in the gaps as well as I could. I tried very hard not to see the pink buttercream underneath. Once the sides were covered fairly well and there were only a few gaps on the top of the cake, I pulled out the dried leaves I cut out beforehand. You can see how they stand up on the surface of the cake a bit. That's exactly the effect I was going for. Now I'd like to mention a serious topic. When a green leaf falls, you have to wonder why. You ask yourself, how did that get there? It doesn't belong among the orange, red, and brown fall leaves. So I wanted to provoke everyone who looks at this cake to ask themselves, why is there a green leaf on the top of that cake? This is why. When I think of fall leaves, I remember those who have fallen. Most fall when they're at a good age, when it is only right and natural. Their deaths are sad, but not tragic. However, we all know someone who has fallen before their time. I meant this one green leaf to represent those who passed before their time, those whose death was a tragedy. I know quite a few people, but I will only mention a couple. My younger brother Gregory, who died of an accidental overdose at age 31, and my friend Philippa, who died in a car accident at age 26. Everyone knows someone whose death was sad and tragic. This one single green leaf is for them, all of them. I placed it right in the center of the cake. You can't miss it, and a piece of it ends up in every slice. Returning to cake, there were a few spots that bothered me on the cake where the pink buttercream was visible between the leaves. I used a bit of leftover marbled fondant to fill in a few gaps and press them in with the fondant tool. I think this cake turned out really beautiful. I love fall leaves. I think they're so gorgeous and colorful, and I think this was an appropriate memorial for those who have fallen. We remember you.